Hello, hi, I'm Eddie Obeng, and this is How. I bring you every single day a different way to get stuff done, the how part of life, not the what or the why or the who, but the how to get stuff to happen. Today, I want to focus on a specific area, which is actually persuading people to buy stuff off you. If you're living in the world which I'm living in, most businesses are having to find new customers, having to find new offers and ways of connecting to people. It's called PitchIt. I didn't invent it all. I've learned it through the years. So let's jump onto Cube and I'll share with you PitchIt as a way of trying to make sure your sales messages land. So welcome to Cube, where, as you know, the sun is always shining. As you can see up through the skylight up here, the sun is happily making us gleeful. Let's go in search of PitchIt and let me walk you through it. Here we go. Here's PitchIt on this whiteboard in the discussion room. So this will have happened to you. You'd have gone and done sales presentations, images, pointing at people and stuff like that. Now, statistically, I don't know about you, but statistically, chances are that you'd have ended up coming out of the room or the meeting a little bit like this chap over here, a little bit dejected and miserable. So PitchIt is really to make sure that your message is actually sent, received, and people will act on it when you ask them to. So let's see what the elements are. There are lots of different pets built into this. As I say, I learned it both from when I was a young consultant, from learning from other people. So I can't really ascribe where I got all the learning from, but I've also mixed in a lot of pets which you'll recognize. One of them is something called You Ask Me, which is a way of flipping around the focus away from yourself towards the people you're going to work with. Often when you're trying to sell, you're so concentrated on what you're trying to sell as opposed to what they need. And Jordan Belfort explains this beautifully with his "Sell Me This Pen" example. So if you've not seen that, go and look for that. Sell me this pen. Example point. There's a tendency to talk about the technology, the capability, etc., out of context. But if you use the example point, which is one of the pets you've probably learned on how, it will actually allow you to transfer the knowledge without making people feel silly or using jargon. The other thing is the persuasion map, the famous Eddie Obeng persuasion map, where I mapped all the different forms of persuasion, going from the ones which sort of don't work to the ones which do, low to high, and then also making sure you don't stray into the unethical areas. The one which I tend to use a lot is contrast persuasion, because it's okay because you're showing people and you still allow them to make their minds up. A lot of these other persuasion methods are slightly coercive or slightly underhand, scarcity, pretending things are running out, reciprocity, giving somebody something so sneakily their monkey brain will want to give you something else and so on. So all those things are built in, but I've tried to make it as ethical as possible. This is an example of contrast persuasion. Which one would you rather have, for example? And some people would like the robot, but a lot of people would just say, let's go back to being human beings. So what's PitchIt? It's basically a way of approaching your pitch, your conversation. There's a setup phase, and then there's a way of actually writing out the message you're going to give. And if you don't stray from that message, you'll probably be fine. So let's look at what you write up. So first thing you need to know is you need to be very clear on who the audience is. Who is it? Is it senior people? Is it junior people? Is it a mixed group of people? What is their problem? If it's a mixed group of people, you want to write down all the problems and probably choose the top 3 which people all resonate with. How can you help? Be clear on what you can bring. Don't try and sell stuff when you can't do anything. I can help them save costs. I can help them learn how to work faster. I can help them build their whatever it is. Be very sure you can actually bring them value. Don't just go and try and waste people's time and flog them something which is of no use to them. That's no good to the world. So here we go. Here's PitchIt. So rather than starting off by saying, we've got the best plan, no, you start off saying, we are. Who are we? We are a group of people who've been building a way to allow human advantage to outstrip the technology. We call it Cube. We've looked at your situation and situations like yours, where we've discovered that most organizations are losing their people's soul because they're all distributed and they're all working at home from home, and their souls are being sucked out and they're finding it hard to get any motivation and innovation. We're here to help. So then you say, we give examples you've done. So we've worked with, Novartis to let people work together so they could get their drug trials out in half the time. We've worked with Wolters Kluwer to make sure that they could actually get their global HR people to be able to feel as if they were one and provide much better customer service. So explain what you've done from the customer's point perspective. Okay, so you probably want to say something. Novartis said to us, we've never worked so fast, and we were able to work in a way which we allowed us to be very innovative. Walter's Close said to us, we've made sure that we have everybody in the HR organization able to connect and know what's going on. So try and describe it from the customer's point of view, and then move on to describing their details, their problem, why it's a problem, and their metrics. When you have halved your time, when you've doubled the amount of people, describe it very precisely, as precise as you can, and then you move on to the contrast persuasion. So there are two ways you can go. You can go the traditional way, which is da 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 da. Don't even necessarily tell them why it's bad. You can tell them they could do nothing, which a lot of people would probably want to do. If you know how the gap lead pet is worked, use the if not fixed. Well, if you don't do anything, then this will happen. Or if you want, describe the competitors who will bring you into the weeds. Many organizations will ask you to do a 400-page summary to try a survey to try and summarize what your key issues are. Okay, so that will be that. So that's option A. Or if you like, we could sit down together, we get you on cube, we could run a first workshop, and then from there you'll know exactly what you're going to do, and that means that you'll be up and running whilst you're actually assessing whether you want to work with us, the benefits. So that's what you do. You do an A and you do a B. Don't just put your offer. Put something against your offer so they can contrast. And of course, we recommend what we do because it's fast. It'll get you going really quickly. Won't cost you any money. And when you do decide to move forward, it's going to really transform your business. Fast, good, cheap. Another pet you probably know. And it'll be really easy to implement because there are 12 of you around the world and you'll get going straight away. And here's the story of how we helped. And then give them a little final story. We helped such and such an organization. They had to work. They had an insurance company. They had to move forward. And then the most important thing of all, ask them for the business. Are you happy to work with us? Are you happy we should go forward? Let's go forward. Will you work with us? Ask for the business. If you don't, sometimes people don't twig and they just see it as a nice story and they walk away and they don't buy. So that's basically PitchIt. Have a go with it this afternoon with anyone you're trying to sell to. See how it works. Do the preparation on the setup. Then write the entire session. Make sure that your contrast persuasion is well done. Also, when you talk about a problem you address, don't forget to do it from the customer's perspective. What did the customer say? What do they think? What do they feel? What is it? And never, ever, ever forget to ask for the business. So subscribe to the newsletter. Go on Spotify, go on YouTube to the channel. And I'll see you again. That was PitchIt.